Okay. I'm going up to my health coach's house so that she can run some... Kind of sounds like the thing that you were wanting to do with Francis. She's going to run some program on me, and it's going to be like a multi-page thing that's going to give me a bunch of like data on like my health. So, let's start with this since this was on my mind. I was just sitting here driving, and I was thinking about a dream that I had last night. And in the dream, Dave and I went to Vegas with his friend Freddie, the one that I've told you is like basically a functioning alcoholic. There's a Blue Sky Pest Company as I'm talking about this. That's funny. And in my dream, I was with Dave. And I think I was like fed up with like how messy he was. And I think it was like, it was like basically our relationship was rocky. And we were staying together in a hotel room. And Callie, we had Callie there, and only Callie. And she was downstairs in their like childcare, because they offered childcare in Vegas in the hotel. And I bet that would be popular. And I'm sure there's services like that, like nannies and stuff like that. But like, I was just thinking like if the hotel offered it. And Dave and I were in the hotel. Callie was down in the child care at that time. And Dave had like changed her diaper a couple of times, but he had left the dirty diapers like open and just laying around. And I think I like picked up one, and I was gonna like throw it away, being like, whatever, it's fine, I'll just fucking do it. And then I found like another one, and I went off on him. I like was like, I can't handle this anymore. You're too messy. I cannot tolerate this anymore. You know, we're done. And he went downstairs. I think he said something about like, what? It's only a couple diapers. And I'm like, but it's not. It's more than that. It's because you're like this all the time. And he went downstairs and he got Callie, basically like he did when I left him, to like use her as a pawn of like control over me. And that is the dream that I remember when I woke up this morning. And I was like, okay, there I am, angry at Dave again. Like, oh, and I even remembered in that dream being like, damn it, the next time I leave him, I'm going to do it while I'm holding Callie so that he can't take her. And I have her. And I just remember thinking, like, what a silly thing, because I knew it was like a thing that I needed to like work through. And I mean, she's safe, they're with me now, right? Like, I still just hold so much resentment for myself for walking away from her in that moment. And I need to let that go, because I made a huge, big, scary decision when I was terrified that Dave was going to hurt me and hurt me in front of Callie. Like, I need to let that go and be proud of myself for leaving him. And I do need to recognize, like, in that moment, he hadn't ever been abusive towards her. she did end up being safe, but I do look back on that and I think he was like extremely under the influence of something. When I look back and I think about it and think about how his eyes were glazed, his speech was slurred, he was fucking on something in that moment. I know he was. I didn't recognize it in the moment. I've had substance dependency enabled in my life and grew up with my mom basically enabling my dad and hiding it and basically saying it's okay, right? So I understand why, like, in the moment I did not recognize it, but looking back, I definitely think he was fucking on something. I do kind of, like, ADD moment, I do kind of want to call the morgue, the coroner's office, the coroner's office, and see if I can get the toxicology report. I am really curious if he relapsed. I know that's just ego talking and curiosity killed the cat, but if I can get it, like, I'm, like, more than just the report that's online. Like, if that toxicology report was done, then it should be available through the coroner's office, and I am really curious if he relapsed. I feel like he probably did, and the universe was like, all right, you know, you had your time, you had your chance, we can't let you relapse and put the kids' lives in danger, so this is where your soul contract ends. I just, with the dream that I had, but then it's like I had those dreams with my parents in them, and apparently I wasn't supposed to, like, let that one play out. I was supposed, like, I feel like that's what it was telling me, is like, this is how it could play out. Your dad could end up committing suicide and your mom could end up living with you, but you have the opportunity to heal things, to heal your dad, like, from a distance. And that was the whole change his life, change not his sheets, like, on Facebook was saying, like, you're going to change his life so that he doesn't end up ending his life that way in this timeline. So maybe in another timeline he does. Or he did, you know. So anyways, I had that dream last night, and I go to school, and I needed to drop off a printer for my friend, and she starts talking to me starts breaking down about how things are not good at home, and that the whole weekend that she left her kids home with the dad, things did not go well. She had asked him to, like, do 3 things, and he didn't do them, and instead of, like, I think one of the things was, like, putting away clothes from laundry that she had done, she had folded, and just asking him to help her finish putting it away. And instead of doing that, he, like, threw it all over the house. Like, it ended up all over the house instead. And just how, like, disrespected she felt. And, you know, like, this is the opposite of what I asked you to do. And she said that things really, since she's gotten back, have not gone well, and that they're now going to be, like, separating and sleeping in separate rooms and looking at splitting up. And feeling that compassion for her and being like, how much I can relate to, like, knowing what it's like to be out of the house for a few days, and then when you, like, come back in and you're like, nope, like, it takes that time, like, to step away to really see things from an outside perspective, because when you're in it, you don't realize it. But I just realized as I'm driving, oh wait, that was my dream. he made a mess in their house and she's done and wants to leave him. I was like, huh. Okay, so that was a prophetic dream that came true the next day. Like, how wild is that one? And I don't know if they're gonna go through with it, but I was just thinking, literally driving yesterday, I think it was, I was just thinking about how I went through a divorce and how I really do enjoy helping other people go through stuff that I've been through so that then I can help other people through it. And I was like, that's interesting, because I went through a divorce almost 5 years ago, and I've never helped another woman go through a divorce. And I'm like, I guess that's just not in my cards. Like, it seems like something that I, like, you know, that I went through that I could help somebody with, but I guess maybe that's not something that I meant to help other people with. And then for her to come to me this morning being like, oh, maybe that is in my cards to help somebody else go through it. And just how terrifying. And then you have all the grief associated with it, and she's a stay-at-home mom, and God, it's terrifying, because then you're like, well, how am I going to be provided for? And, you know, there's this level of, like, understanding, like, you work, you provide, I stay at home, I take care of the kids in the house. And in a divorce, how messed up that is when it comes to no longer being provided for. I just really feel for her with having to go through it. But I did just connect the dots. So I'm like, oh, that was a prophetic dream. Okay, so I do still get them. Pretty cool. Not cool that my friend, like, has to go through that, but cool that I'm still apparently getting prophetic dreams. And I woke up and remembered it without writing it down yet. This is the first time I've talked about it.